Okay, next time I have to pay attention to my own stream because I just realized that it wasn't going to go on YouTube, just Facebook and Twitch TV. But that's all adjusted, that's all corrected, and we are set to go. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a special unboxing with UltraMeagtronus with special guest here, TFfangeek. And you know what? You do your own. You can do your intro. I'm sorry. I like take it away.
No problem. So greetings and welcome. This is the TFfangeek coming to you with a special live unboxing review. And thank you, UltraMeagtronus, for having me on here today on live on your channel. And if you don't mind, would you like to be the one to announce which Transformers figure we're unboxing, or would you like me to do the honors?
You know what? You're my guest, so I say, even though it's already been presented, but yeah, if you'd like to present it, that'd be great. And
Sure.
Builder here, as well as Danny D.
Hello, guys. Welcome. So today, as the title of the video has already revealed, we are going to be doing a live stream unboxing of none other than Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Decepticon Flatline.
And this is a guy that I have been waiting to open for a couple of weeks because we were going to do the unboxing earlier, but circumstances out of our own control happened. So it was either something happened on my end with the snow and the weather, or something happened on TF's end, and then back to me. So thankfully, minus the blizzard that's coming on our way, we are going to do this unboxing by hell or high water. And guess what? We're going to do it today. So that being said, what's your first impressions on this stuff?
So Flatline is a character. I'll be honest with you. I had no idea the character of Flatline even existed. But in my defense, Flatline is as obscure of a Transformers character as you can get. So the fact that he got an action figure, not only in the Age of the Primes line, but it was released at mass retail, and within the past few years, Hasbro used to almost sell action figures that were repaints and retools as exclusives, especially during the 2010s. But now in the decade of the 2020s, with more fans and collectors calling Hasbro out on reducing the number of action figures released as exclusives, it was just a surprise to see a character as obscure as Flatline be given a mass retail release. Yeah, Danny Dolphin, you learn something new every day, like me not knowing something about the Transformers.
Yes, he's human. We know he's human. And hey, there's Ken. New York Hunter is in the house. What is going on, brother, man?
Greetings to you, my friend.
So
go ahead.
I just want to give a hopeful he doesn't get slammed as bad as I do, because the weather forecast is calling for a blizzard, but his area is supposed to get hit harder than me, and I'm upstate New York. He's towards the city, and he's supposed to get slammed.
Yeah, we got about half an inch of rain last week, and that's bad for where I live in California, because normally we get about a quarter of an inch of rain the entire winter season. I'm not kidding. That's an average amount of rain for my little corner of the country.
That's flooding. That's flooding weather for you guys. That's for sure.
It is, especially with all the fires that we had a year ago. It takes 2 to 3 years, depending on how much rainfall we get, for weeds to grow back and anchor the soil on all the mountains. But if there's no weeds there, that dirt turns into mud, and it just comes splashing all the way down until it hits ocean level. And I remember it was back in 2017 where I live, we had a massive landslide, and the main highway, which is a 4-lane highway, it turned into a muddy river. You literally could have floated a boat down the highway because that much muddy water had come all the way down the mountains and cascaded all the way down to the beach.
I'm telling you, this has been the craziest year for weather as of late. And yes, we went from unboxing to geography lessons, folks. So we do all here on the unboxing.
So let's get back on track. So to continue with your question, UltraMeagtronus, I really enjoy Flatline. This is only the second action figure that Flatline has gotten as a Transformers character. The first action figure of Flatline that was released was a minor repaint of the Thrilling 30 IDW Deluxe Class Trailbreaker figure that came out back in 2013. So for those of you wondering why does Flatline's paint job look somewhat similar, especially if you're a G1 Transformers fan, that's because Flatline's paint job takes a lot of design cues from Trailbreaker. One of the main differences is that the highlights on Trailbreaker, such as his windows, which were blue, and then of course the yellow racing stripe Trailbreaker had on the side of him, that's been erased with all black paint, and the blue windows are now red on Flatline. So Flatline started off as almost like an evil doppelganger, the Trailbreaker in terms of physical appearance, but when he appeared in some of the comic books that featured him, he had a body design that was based off of the Armada version of Red Alert, which is why his Age of the Primes figure is a repaint of the Armada Voyager class Red Alert figure that we got earlier last year in 2025. And so that's how we got Flatline and Age of the Primes.
There we go. I gotta apologize because I should be ashamed of myself because I wanted to do the comparison with Red Alert and this guy, and he's on my shelf, and it's been so crazy hectic. I forgot where the hell I put him.
Well, while you go look for him, would you like me to share some of the background information about Flatline with our audience?
Yes, please be my guest. Go for it.
Okay. So I actually went around and browsed his Wikipedia page for a couple of minutes earlier today to prep up for the live stream. So long story short, I mentioned that physically in his physical appearance, Flatline is basically a mashup of Generation 1 Trailbreaker and the Transformers Armada version of Red Alert. Personality-wise, he's basically an evil doppelganger of Ratchet. Flatline lives up to his name by being a doctor, but instead of saving the lives of his patients, he tries to end their lives and live up to his name by flatlining their heartbeats. Well, Transformers technically don't have hearts, but the idea is that if Transformers had a heart and they were hooked up to a heart monitor inside a hospital while recovering from an injury, Flatline would live up to his name by making sure that their heart rate would flatline and they would end up dead. Now, Shockwave is considered the Decepticon mad scientist amongst the Decepticons due to his personality. And he's almost like Dr. Frankenstein, where he tries to do mad experiments. But that's mostly in the realm of science. But Flatline does it for medicinal purposes. So one could argue that Flatline is almost like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde mashed up into one, like Dr. Hyde almost. So yeah, he performs medical experiments that try to end Transformers' lives either right away, as violently as possible, or do it extremely slow and even more violently for his own amusement. So yeah, Flatline is as evil as a Decepticon can come in that regard. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
But one last thing to say about Flatline is that he enjoys ending the lives of his fellow Transformers so much, he doesn't care if they're Autobots or Decepticons. If you end up at Flatline's exam table, you are a dead bot.
That is one brutal bastard, I'm telling you.
Yeah. When I read that, I was like, wow, no wonder it took so long for Flatline to get a mass retail released figure. He could qualify for being the DJD's medical doctor if they actually wanted someone to. He could qualify as being a member of them if they wanted someone to use medical knowledge to end lives of enemies.
Member, heck, he could probably be the leader.
Yeah,
this guy's insane.
And one thing to note about Flatline is that his head sculpt, to which you can see here on the artwork on the side of his box, that's the head sculpt he had in the comic books. And just like G1 Soundwave and Tarn, Flatline's head sculpt is based off the G1 Decepticon faction symbol. So that's why he has those intake vents on his cheeks. That to me would have made a great head sculpt for Optimus, but you know what? Just because it's on him, leave it be. Just leave it be. He would have made it good. My first impression of him was that he was almost like a Nemesis Prime equivalent of Armada Red Alert, but when I got into his background story, I realized he's actually a mashup of G1 Ratchet, G1 Red Alert, G1 Trailbreaker, and also Tarn from IDW due to his love of turning living robots into cadavers. Yeah. I know little to nothing about Flatline. I got him because I was like, okay, almost the same kind of sense, saying like, okay, this is like the Nemesis Prime of Red Alert. But after seeing and hearing what you just said, Jesus, now this guy is dark. Yeah. So that is just insanity. Yeah. Basically, Now, I don't know what rating you normally have on your channel, but I just have to come out and say this. After hearing his bio and how he was portrayed in the comic books that introduced him, basically Flatline is a serial killer who stayed in college long enough to go to medical school and get a medical degree so he could be a doctor to try and legally murder people at his own with his own medical expertise. I mean, that just makes me shiver thinking about that.
Kind of reminds me of what's that movie with American? I want to say it's Christian Bale, where he was like a serial killer kind of deal. If anybody knows the name of that movie,
I never saw that.
Yeah, it's just like nice decorated.
Yeah, I mean, so the simple act of switching that, where a doctor who instead of trying to save lives, he tries to end lives, that just makes Flatline as sinister as a trans.
Thank you, Big M. American Psycho.
Yeah, American Psycho. Yeah, that was it. Thanks, Big M, and welcome.
All right.
So that is who Flatline is personality-wise. You do not want to cross paths with Flatline unless you want to die either very quickly or painfully slow.
All right. I'm losing my head. I'm losing my mind for some reason because
it's probably the snow. It's freezing your logistics. Maybe you should pay a visit to Shockwave.
I'm telling you. I mean, I thought I had everything set for like, okay, I'm gonna unbox this guy. I have everything presentable, and okay, here we go. I'm like just looking for my in front of my face. And you know what, TF, for once, I got to do this to myself because...
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yes.
You heard it on this live stream, guys. UltraMeagtronus had to shame himself. Oh, boy.
Try to find everything that was right in front of my face because of my blindness. So let's get cracking and open this sucker up because we've been waiting a long time for this one, man.
Oh, yeah.
If you're ready for it, I'm ready for it. I'm slicing this guy open. Yeah, it's been... I've been patient. I wanted to unwrap this guy for a while.
I already took the tape off, so... Oh, yeah, me too.
I just ordered...
As UltraMeagtronus said, we were originally going to do the live stream 2 weeks ago, so yeah.
I think it was like even longer than that, like a month. We've been trying to get this going because...
Oh yeah, it was the first Sunday. Yeah, it was the first Sunday of February we wanted to do this.
January, yeah. But like we just one thing after another, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is insane. All right, so
I apologize. I apologize if I'm not reading the comments on the live chat. I full screened myself just to make sure I knew could see what I was doing. Oh, okay.
Oh, Big M got the Bingo Toy Strafe in. And
nice.
I saw Deluxe Baldwin's review. I've seen Raziel Kane's review. I'm about ready to say it's from Shows These Stores. I'm like, maybe I have to do layaway on this guy and just do that. But I've got so much going on. So the one thing I will say is maybe this was like the last line for it, but we got the one last time, I guess, with the paper wrapping for the weapons. So
because what figure did I unbox where it was actually in a plastic Ziploc bag? I was surprised to see that. I was like, okay, I guess Hasbro's the whole thing about saving on plastic. I guess that's definitely been thrown out the window if they're switching from paper bags to plastic Ziploc bags.
Yeah, it's weird.
That had that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a problem with the twist ties being paper and all that stuff. I didn't have a problem with the weapons and the blast effects being in paper and all that stuff. I just had a problem with the packaging. Yeah, I just had a problem with the packaging being open and not protected.
Oh yeah, the open plastic windows. Yeah,
I hope it's the same kind of transformation. If it isn't, that'll be good for starters. But yeah, I figured it was the same mold, same everything. Because here's Red Alert. We both brought them up.
Yep.
And now we got Flatline over here. Yep. And what did I do with my scissors? Well, I got my knife, so I'll be okay with that. Oh no, here's my scissors right here. I actually put them away where they belonged. Alrighty, so.
Don't you just hate when your stuff hides in plain sight right in front of you?
I hate when it's like I know where it is and I forget where it is. It's called old age. Everybody will get there someday unless somebody's beat me to the punch already.
One of my cousins, he lived until he was in his 90s, and he told my parents and I every day, getting old is well, I can't repeat that word on the internet without yeah,
this might be a little bit early. We might have some youngins in the audience, so This is the first time I have to say we're gonna have to probably edit what we says what we say.
Yeah.
Usually, I cap it on the daytime.
Yeah. Well, I don't curse. I don't like to. Yeah.
What the heck? Okay, so the one thing I did notice, I don't know if this, I mean, it's been so long, but like the back of his legs had these 2 cardboard pieces sticking in. I don't know why, but
oh yeah, Red Alert didn't have this.
I didn't pick up this guy. Well, the big difference right now, Ken, is he's black and red, and he's got a cool helmet, but everything else should be the same.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, the only
and David, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream.
Okay, I got to grab my scissors. Normally, I try to do it the hard way, and I try to take out the plastic tie downs without having to cut them. But for the sake of time, I'll cut them here on the live stream.
Okay. Well, I got mine out here. I'm just going to try and collect all the plastic tabby things here.
Because that's why I try not to cut them, so I don't have to do that after.
Well, this is the first time that it got sloppy on me, so I will say that as I duck down. But this isn't bad. I think this might be from other ones that I've unboxed too. Thanks anybody that was at the last night's stream with Deluxe Baldwin and me. Thank you guys, and thanks for understanding the whole situation with the camera being off. It was just we didn't want to go through this insanity again for like 15 minutes, and then it's like, okay, sorry to screw this up. So when we figured out, okay, just keep the cameras off. I know you guys were very upset you didn't see Matthew's beautiful face and all. Believe me, I feel your pain. My face, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, so those little plastic leg fillers for Flatline, that was something new that Red Alert didn't have those.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's something.
Yeah, Ken, because we were lagging so bad, we weren't sure if it was like whose end it came on. So that's why we cut the camera off. And then like when we presented something to show on screen, that was like, here you go, And then the moment it happened, like 10 seconds later, it's like, okay, we're in the lag. But once we went to audio, we were fine the rest of the night. And I kind of like, it sucks, but it is what it is. But we gave you the show, and I'm happy that we were able to provide that for you guys. So thank you again for coming in. Okay, so what do we got here? All right.
Almost done. Still have to give him his accessory pieces, and his heel spurs weren't flipped out, so he's package mistransformed, but that was true for Red Alert as well. Okay.
Alrighty. So what are we missing here? All right, so I'm going to just try and match up everything originally. Okay, so same old. It should be the same here.
Mm-hmm.
Turret gun. Yep, basically it's just a complete clone.
Yeah, there is. Yes,
obviously.
So I'm looking at the sculpted detailing, and yeah, everything is the same. So there's only 2 new parts Flatline has to distinguish himself from Armada Red Alert. His new head sculpt, which is based off of the G1 Decepticon head, just like G1 Soundwave and IDW Tarn. And the only new accessory piece Flatline has is this right here. He actually has a left fist. And keeping up with the gimmick of Armada Red Alert, Flatline's left fist is detachable. So be warned, 15, 20 years from now, there could be copies of Age of the Primes Flatline with his left fist long gone. Because he has the same tool weapons that he can put on his left wrist, just like Armada Red Alert does.
Right. You said you didn't have your comments on, right, TF?
No, I meant I just couldn't read the live chat at first because I was full screened.
Yeah, David says he's having a hard time. For some reason, he's not getting notifications about your videos. And yeah, we were just discussing that earlier. He did something. He did a review for Blast Off, and I thought I watched it, but it comes up as the last one he did was TF1 Illegal 1. So
no, that was the last one I did. No, that was the last one I did. I meant in my unboxing collection update video is what I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what the heck is going on here? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, guess what he comes with? 2 hands.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? Let's see. So now I got the missiles here. I just got to figure out what I do with these now.
They store on the back of the legs right here.
Yep. I forgot about that. I'm looking right at it too.
Yeah.
I'll double chain me later.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the 3mm peg.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would mean, where are you here?
So in theory, if you wanted to see Armada Red Alert for the first time ever have two hands, which he never did have two hands, if you buy a duplicate copy of Flatline, you could spray paint the hand blue, and you could give Armada Red Alert a left hand.
Yep, that's probably the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And do I want to put this one here? Yeah, because this other missile here, I'm not sure if this is something on. Oh, maybe if I do it like this.
If you do it with the flat part facing down, then it slides into place perfectly. You'll see there's like a 3mm port on the bottom on one side. If you do that side facing down, then it snaps into place firmly.
And that's the right, like that's the which is that? Oh wait, which one's that? The turret one or the single gun one?
So I put the 3-barrel one on the right side leg, and I put the single barrel one on the left side leg.
All right, let me switch it off because now that might be the reason why. Because you probably have it the correct way versus me not doing this.
Well, the way I easily remembered is just because I saw Transformers Armada so many times when I was a kid. The single barrel laser is the one Red Alert always had on his left arm. Every time he would transform in the cartoon, that was just automatically there.
Okay.
I think there might have been one scene in one episode when Armada Red Alert switched out his single barrel arm laser cannon with the triple barrel one, but it was just a one-time thing. So, if I remember correctly, but other than that, he always had the single barrel one attached to his left arm. The joke was that it was there permanently, so the triple barrel one was just to give him another weapon.
Okay, so why is the single turret one not hooking up to my leg the way it's supposed to?
Here, right here, UltraMeagtronus. See how there's like a 3mm.
Oh no, yeah. This is for Flatline that I'm trying to do. I'm going to zoom in on you really quick because my eyesight's not that good anymore.
Yeah. So right here on the bottom where you see this 3mm port, make sure that is facing down when you insert it inside the leg.
Right. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm doing that, but it's like wide. Here, huh? Okay.
And then it should look like that. Push it.
Wait a minute. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's try this. All right. Yeah, I had it the wrong way.
Yeah, and the way it's designed is that's the only way you can put it in like that. You can't put it in at any angle, or it won't lock in place.
All right. Yep, I got it. That was weird. But all right. He has said he is done. So, and we are frozen.
Oh dear.
No, I mean we still got the audio, so we're good to go. It'll like probably clear up in about a minute.
Okay. Well,
there we go. Yep. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so finally freed from his box, here is Flatline and all his black and red sinister goodness, or evilness, I should say.
That was a diecast Norb moment right there.
What?
The way you just said that, I was like, wait a minute. Oops. I thought I was with TFfangeek. Now I'm with diecast Norbs. But that's all good. He would love that. That's like a little homage. David CT said he just got the Soundwave. He's a 10 for him. Yeah, I mean, I like Soundwave. I mean, so far my favorite Studio Series figure that's come out is Thundercracker. I love him. He is. I think, like, if you're even non-Seeker fans have to give this guy a chance to say, okay, he's good.
Yeah,
that's just me though.
I might change my mind and get that mold just because of Skywarp, and Skywarp being my favorite Seeker.
Yep, he's already pre-order. You can pre-order him on Amazon. I think Walmart even probably has them on pre-sale too. But definitely don't miss out on this one because Walmart they've been getting them more in.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just I think he's great. Like this is probably the best Seeker.
Right now right now I'm financially strapped, so I have to pass on Studio Series 86 Soundwave just because I still have the Legacy United version of Soundwave A from 2024, and for my Transformers collecting, I'm concentrating on action figures of characters that I don't have in my collection yet, which is why I went in on Flatline and why I hesitated on the Combaticons. So yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on Soundwave, Studio Series 86 Soundwave for now, just because I have enough. I'm at that point in my Transformers collecting where I feel I can say I've had enough Soundwaves added to my collection, even though everyone's saying Studio Series 86 Soundwave is a figure to get.
Yeah, I mean, do you have the Netflix version of Soundwave?
I do, and the Legacy United repaint.
Believe it or not, they said people have said if you already got the Netflix version, you can keep that as your definitive. Because the one thing I will say I did not like about the Soundwave that came out in Studio Series were the cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
The cassettes, in my opinion, all of them were not that great. Soundwave was great. Everybody else wasn't.
And when I eventually get around to reviewing Legacy United Soundwave, the main reason I got that is because that Leader Class box set is the only way you can get Buzzsaw, the version of him that's designed to interact with Netflix Soundwave.
Yep. Ken is like, I actually got Soundwave just because I saw him in Target. Damn, if he's good enough to be very enjoyable, they got me. Yeah, he's enjoyable.
Yeah.
He's good, though. I want Thundercracker and Skywarp, but sticking with the Starscream, I don't need to 86 him. I don't know, because like right now the past Seekers that were in Earth mode jets versus the new ones, if you don't have it, you'll understand why everybody is going crazy on this guy. The suck part about Starscream is he's going to be a Target exclusive, and I'm hoping that that's not the case and they will find a way of getting him out somewhere else. I just want to know when they're going to release them. I want to be on top of that.
I'll give you my honest opinion. When are we finally going to get a Voyager class-sized figure of Sunstorm?
That is true.
The last Voyager class Sunstorm that Hasbro released was the animated Sunstorm back in 2008, and that was 18 years ago.
Oh, jeez. Ken is like, I actually am surprised okay with the cassettes. I think I complained the most in our lives. I don't know. I'm not fond of the cassettes, like I said. They could have done a better job, and they know they could have done a better job. Laserbeak. So here's the thing. If you guys caught my review on the Blockies Megatron, he comes with a Laserbeak. In fact, and I just knocked some stuff down. That's okay. It's nothing fragile. It's just Cybertron. And I will show you quickly. For $40, you get a throne, like a literal, like size of Megatron. Can't even think. Voyager size or leader size, and this is Laserbeak. You can't really see the eyes. It's my only complaint about it. I had to paint it red, but after that, that's the Laserbeak we deserved, folks.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't transform, but you know what? I am not going to cry about it. I'm happy with this. He, to me, is like right there with the Netflix version of Laserbeak as far as transformation's concerned. But after that, I'm happy. That's the best one yet. And I'm glad to see that. And the fact that he comes with Kremzeek makes it even better, too. Yeah, a really good version of Kremzeek.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I was surprised to see, even while he was still inside the box, I've been saying this on some of my reviews recently, especially of Transformers Decepticons who are purple, and how the Decepticon logos, and it's true for even some red Autobots, where I've noticed that in more recent years, the Transformer faction symbols, they don't have an outline frame around them. It's just the symbol itself, because that's how Sunbow Productions drew the faction symbols in the G1 cartoon show. So when you look at Flatline's Decepticon logo, it's not just the Decepticon logo. He has a silver outline frame on there. So he has an entirely framed Decepticon logo on his chest. So
here, let me zoom in again. My apologies. I just went to go pick up my Primus figure.
So yeah, that is a fresh sight to behold, seeing a Decepticon logo that actually has a silver outline frame painted on it. It's very reflective, but yeah.
What's going on, Flick?
Hello there.
Yeah, no, it's good. We haven't had those in a while, and it's good. And like you said, it's good to have something like that back on.
Uh-huh.
You know, it makes it stand out more. So,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I had to go. The whole world's in my hand.
Oh yeah, I have that figure too. I don't know if you saw it. I don't know if you've seen on Amazon that company removed all the Cybertron armor and put Planet Earth armor on. So there's now an Earth mode version of Primus out there as well.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. I know they were advertising something on Etsy, but it was for Unicron. But I saw a red, like, is it the red version?
It's the same exact one as that one. The robot mode is the same exact one as the
Right,
Cybertron version. Yeah.
But wasn't the coloration like red or something like that, or like orange?
From the photo I saw on Amazon, it's the exact same robot. It's the exact same inner robot. The only difference is the kibble that forms the planet.
Okay, I gotta relook it up then and
Yeah.
see. Because maybe
Yeah,
if it's different, maybe I'll buy that to be the planet that Unicron destroyed the first in the '86 movie.
Yeah, just make sure you buy Kranix to try and fly away from it.
Oh yeah, I already pre-ordered Kranix for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So we got these guys out. So now that we have it out physically, like, what are your first impressions in regards to like the quality of the robot itself, like plastic and all that?
I'm really enjoying Flatline, maybe more than Armada Red Alert. I mean, I am biased because black is my favorite color. And so any Transformers action figure that has black as the primary paint job instantly gets a thumbs up from me. Skywarp,
Nice,
Nemesis Prime, and Trailbreaker and Ravage. Those guys all instantly get a thumbs up from me because they have black as their primary paint job. And Flatline here is no exception. I thought maybe he was going to be like a gunmetal gray or something, but he is actually a very rich shade, solid black, made of solid black plastic. For a while, back in the 2010s, a lot of Transformers action figures that looked like they were made out of black plastic. If you put a bright light up to them, it was actually a dark greenish brown plastic that only looked black because it was an optical illusion. But from what I can see, looking at Flatline, he is actually made out of black plastic. So that's visually really something nice to see. And I just love how with his all red highlights here, he almost looks like the Fallen Allen, where he looks kind of demonic. Sorry to say it that way, but I think that's the image that we're going for with Flatline, is that he's the total opposite of Red Alert from Armada.
Yeah, I mean, like, I should. Can I reach him? I don't think I can right now. But like to put him, like, say, next to Nemesis Prime,
that
would be its own army on its own.
Oh yeah, you could easily put Flatline next to Nemesis Prime, Nemesis Primal, Nemesis Leo, and all the Nemesis Black Transformers, and he could easily fit in with them, even though he doesn't have the word Nemesis as part of his name.
Yep. But you know what? He could be the medical, like Red Alert is to the Autobots, Flatline is to the Decepticons. So that's something that's always good to have.
And one thing I definitely enjoy about Flatline more than I do about the Age of the Primes version of Armada Red Alert, they actually went the extra mile and painted his hubcaps silver.
Yes, I've noticed that was a difference, and I don't get why they miss out on one, but then they capitalize on the other.
Well, I think
Flick, if you go back earlier to the stream, TF actually, it goes through the whole explanation of what he's about and why he became the way he did. So if you go back, if you came in late, you could check that out for sure, and you'll get a hell of an education on it, because I did, and even he did.
Here's just a close-up of their different face sculpts.
Extreme close-up!
Oh, and I just noticed for the first time, Armada Red Alert and Flatline's faces are opposites. Red Alert has a visor and an actual mouth, but Flatline has a mouth plate while he has an actual pair of eyeballs.
That's right, yeah. That is weird. That's good that they're doing that. How they just like make it complete opposites and make it parallel. Like, it's crazy. They did Kranix. I don't like the ship mode, but then again, they never really had a ship mode. But life goes on.
Yeah.
We're good with that.
Mm-hmm.
All
There's
right. Oh.
the light
Oh,
on
you
my
should have the light
phone's
piping.
the
Actually,
light on my
I don't even think you need the cell phone. It actually lit up for you. Oh yeah, there you go.
Okay.
If you angle it towards the sun, you might get lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't see the head, but yeah, I mean, the light piping and all that.
Yeah, the light piping on Red Alert, it's a visor, and then it also works on Flatline as well.
Oh yes, right here. Let me without blinding everybody.
Let's see if I can get it at an angle where the light isn't shining in the camera lens. There.
Oh, so this is gonna be interesting.
Direction. There we go. There's Flatline with his evil red eyes all lit up.
That is nice. That is definitely nice. All right. Well, listen, since you're the guest here and all that stuff, if you want to show us the articulation points of this guy and how you judge it and rank it, please feel free to do so.
All right. So going into Flatline's articulation, despite the new head sculpt and him actually having a left fist, it's almost the same as it was for Armada Red Alert. Head's on a ball joint, so it has the potential to spin 360 degrees clockwise and counterclockwise, but the exhaust vents on the base of his face along with his chin. If you have his face sitting down properly flat on his chest, it aligns with the sculpted detailing there on it, and so he can't directly spin his head side to side without the intake vents hitting these little notches sculpted here on his chest. So you do have to curve his head upward slightly, but the ball joint is decent enough to allow for full head articulation. Unfortunately, on my copy of Flatline, I don't know how easily you're going to see it, but the ball joint, for some reason, it's making my copy of Flatline look slightly off in one direction towards his right shoulder. Like, see, right there, that's where it wants to stop. So it doesn't want to look straight forward without me having to force it. So that's a little minor nitpick I have with a slight defect with my copy of Flatline, is the ball joint having some sculpted detailing on the surface, making him stick off to the side. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go on my screen really quick and see maybe if it'll loosen it up. So when you were doing the head articulation, why? All right, I got to turn on my light here. I was hoping not to. I guess I'm going to have to just because. But nope. And right. All right. So if you notice it, like I actually got him to go into the Superman look. Are you able to do that?
I am.
Okay. I'm going to go back to you then.
So, so here's what UltraMeagtronus is talking about. The ball joint on the back of Flatline's head, it's totally hollowed out and carved out. So Flatline can look straight up into the sky if he wants. And you can have him doing the Superman flight where he's traveling through space if you want. And his laser gun fell out of his hand. So if you wanted to have Flatline flying through space, you can have him looking forward as he's doing so.
Oh, you got really the head. Yeah, you got the head farther in than I did.
Yeah. So yeah, really great amount of heads of neck articulation with the neck joint on Flatline's new head sculpt. The arms are attached at the. So moving on to the other joints, the arms are attached to the torso with universal joints at the shoulder. So the arms have the potential to spin clockwise and counterclockwise 360 degrees. The arms can go up this far. They can go down this far, so 90 degrees. The doors are on a separate hinge as well. So if you want the arms to remain parallel with the doors, you can give Flatline that look. If you want to further distinguish him from Armada Red Alert, you can angle his doors downward, and that makes him look more like Generation 1 Trailbreaker. So I can kind of see why in the official product photos they just wanted Flatline to be a doppelganger, more of a Armada Red Alert than G1 Trailbreaker, since they share the same body design. But how you position the doors is your personal preference. The reason why the doors stick up like this officially is because on the original Armada Red Alert action figure, the doors weren't on a separate hinge, so they were stuck permanently parallel with the top of Red Alert's torso, or so on his original Armada action figure.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's why the doors are officially supposed to be in this position where they're parallel with the torso, and make it look like he's has a flat top with his head sticking out on top of it.
Am I missing something? Hold on. Can I see a red alert again? Because I got to see something.
Oh, sure. Let me bring out red alert for UltraMeagtronus.
So that's the current red alert that's out. Why am I not getting? Okay, because like here's my arms on this guy. I'm going to zoom out.
Of course.
Yeah, like my arms are like here.
So that is one thing. So that is one mold improvement Flatline has over red alert. The separate hinge joint on Flatline's doors, they are much looser than they are on Armada red alert. Because watch this. See, they almost tighten like that. I actually loosen them by folding them up and down several times to get them to loosen up. So they're very tight.
This doesn't even look like
it's on red alert.
Okay, this is weird because like the way mine looks, it doesn't even look like it's supposed to fold up. And I'm trying to like push this down, but here, I'll zoom in to show you what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like literally, this is frozen again, you cockapoo.
Yeah.
See, like if I can go any let me put on the light again. Sorry. That's not the light.
No problem. At least you don't have a gnat trying to buzz around your face. Yeah.
See that? It looks like it's locked into place. So unless I'm missing something on my transformation that I don't know about, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, look at this. It's even screwed in.
Oh, it's supposed to be like that at UltraMegatronus. I see the problem. So UltraMegatronus, watch me.
All right, hold on.
So I'm going to transform Armada Red Alert's arm back for you. No, the way you have
never mind. Got it.
Yeah, yours was still locked into place.
Yeah, I just realized that too.
For alt mode, yeah. Now, so a tip: so if you find yourself in the same situation as UltraMegatronus, when you're transforming Armada Red Alert out of alt mode into robot mode, you'll end up with the arm at this position in one point. The best way to do it: gently sandwich 2 fingers on either side of the arm, like this on the door. And then gently as possible, bring the arm down to separate it, like that. That is the best way to transform this mold's shoulders without breaking the doors off.
Yeah, I like what you did. I'm liking the fact that you got the red missile handgun on him. I got the black one, like a claw.
Yeah.
But
now, interesting thing to note about the claw. On the original Armada Red Alert action figure, the claw was actually a missile that fired out of Red Alert's laser gun. And this sculpted detailing right there above my finger, that was a button that would spring launch this claw, and it actually opened up on the original Armada Red Alert action figure. So the claw is supposed to permanently be almost like a double-barreled claw missile for Red Alert's laser gun.
I don't get why they take away the stuff that makes everything, so much better with it.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that's the reason why I put the claw on Red Alert's laser gun, because that's what it's referencing is the claw missile that his original Armada action figure actually came with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Inspector Gadget. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it, but I'm just letting you guys know if you ever go back and watch the Armada Transformers cartoon series, this is the most animation accurate to Red Alert's appearance in the Armada cartoon. That's why I did it also with Flatline here, to try and make him as much of an evil doppelganger as Armada Red Alert as possible.
Alrighty.
So getting back to articulation, moving down the arm, you have a swivel joint in the bicep, so the arms have the potential to spin 360 degrees clockwise and counterclockwise at the bicep. But if you try and spin the arm into the torso, I'm going to just take the laser gun off because it keeps falling off. You have to have the arm fully extended out to spin it 360 degrees without hitting anything. You got double jointed hinge joints at the elbow for transformation, and they're just as stiff on Flatline as they are on Armada, Age of the Prime's Armada Red Alert. The reason for the double jointed elbows is not only for transformation, but it's so that if you use both hinge joints at the same time, you can have the upper and lower arm sitting at 90 degrees with the elbow joint itself sitting at 45 degrees in between to make it look like a more humanoid arm with that additional double hinge joint acting as, for lack of better vocabulary, a more fleshy elbow joint for the figure to have. And then there are wrist swivels on both hands, but just like Armada Red Alert, officially Flatline, he's sculpted where he has just only his right hand permanently attached to his arm. His left hand is a new accessory piece to give him 2 hands. Armada Red Alert never had 2 hands. His original 2002 Armada action figure came like this, where there was no left fist, and he never transformed his left side arm with a fist at the end of it. He always had one of his laser guns permanently mounted on his wrist. I've always liked to think, even though there was no explanation as to why, the main reason why Armada Red Alert only had a right side hand and not a left side hand is the same reason why Flatline has a mostly black paint job. They're both based off of loosely on Generation 1 Trailbreaker, who Sunbow Productions permanently gave Trailbreaker a laser gun at the end of his hands, which primarily projected holograms. So that's the legacy of Armada Red Alert, is that he's based loosely off of Generation 1 Trailbreaker, and by extent, so is Flatline. And so just be mindful you never lose the left side fist if you want Flatline to have to always have 2 hands at the end of his arms.
Yeah, some people didn't get into like some people didn't get into Armada. I'm still watching it. I still have to get past Armada to get into the other 2 series. Everybody, to some people, that's their G1. So me, I'm gonna be G1 all the way. But I'm always open to new storylines. It bounces around a lot. I won't lie.
Yeah,
but some people get it, some people don't. I'm in that situation where I'm like, you know what? It's a different type of story, and as long as I get to enjoy what I watch, I'm happy.
Yeah, Transformers Armada was primarily a reboot to bring in a new generation of Transformers fans to start off the 21st century. Hasbro at first tried to do it with the Car Robots cartoon series, but since the first couple of episodes of the series take place in a metropolitan area, because of 9/11, a lot of people lost interest in seeing explosions inside metropolis areas and cartoon shows, and so Car Robots suffered because of 9/11 in that regard. But Transformers Armada, the Transformers fight in primarily a rural town out in the mountains, so it's mostly wilderness area near the forest and the woods, and so that's why Transformers Armada was more well received than Car Robots was here in the United States, because it was a totally different setting that didn't parallel 9/11. And Armada was my G1. It was the first Transformers series I ever watched, so I'm biased in that I actually enjoy Transformers Armada, since it's the Transformers series that introduced me to the Transformers franchise.
That's the one thing I'll say. A lot of people did say, they may not have liked the series, but as far as the toys were concerned, a lot of people loved the toys themselves.
Oh yeah,
so that was a plus side for the series.
Now, continuing on to Flatline's articulation, he does have a waist joint, so he has the potential to spin at the waist 360 degrees clockwise and counterclockwise. And this is the main gripe I have with this action figure. It's not a, some could argue it's a design flaw, but I don't know what the correct vocabulary for it to be, but it's a cautionary tale. It's the best grammar I can think of is it's the most fragile part of this action figure. The transform Flatline, this is true for Armada Red Alert, to transform him back and forth between robot mode and alt mode, his entire backpack, which becomes the roof of the alt mode of an ambulance, it's one whole gigantic piece. Flipping around here to the back, it's attached to the torso on this tiny little flimsy hinge joint right there above my finger. So the upper and lower halves of the figure depend on that tiny little hinge joint right there behind the head and under the windshield from not breaking and the aching. Because if it were to break, the figure's roof would be permanently detached. You can see it a little more on. You can see that hinge joint. That little hinge joint I'm talking about here on Red Alert because it's gunmetal gray, white plastic. But yeah, the figure depends entirely on that tiny hinge joint to transform correctly without breaking. Similar to how the Siege Seekers depended on one hinge joint to transform the upper and lower halves of the figure back and forth between robot mode and alt mode. So, and on the original, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, as far as like if it was loose or if it was tight, I mean, my figure is tight. Like, I'll show you on my end. I'll zoom in on both of us. But like shaking it, the shake test, this sucker is toleranced very well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm like now I'm violently shaking this guy, and it's still like, I mean, it's literally holding still. This is frozen. But you guys basically heard it. But as far as like the ankle heel is concerned, see, all right, so this is my gripe on Red Alert versus Flatline. The heel on Flatline comes out a lot easier than never mind. I got one side that's being stupid.
And you froze again.
Yeah, typical. Let me see if I can do take off myself off camera. Okay, there we go. I didn't even have to do that. But like the one side comes off no problem. This side for the other side of the foot doesn't though. And I can't stand the like certain things should not be toleranced that tight. And yeah, it's the ankle piece right there, which means I'm gonna have to get something in there to take it out. But the other one came out no problem. Oh, no wonder why it came out, because it wasn't even connected. No, but it's all right. Actually, interesting. No. All right. So TF, right side leg where the ankle support is that loose on yours, or is that tolerance all right?
Because it's tolerance all right. It's tolerance all right on the right side, but on my copy, it's the left side. Here, UltraMeagtronus, take a look at this. I am not kidding. Look here. That is how the heel spurs on Flatline are. The right side foot, the heel spur perfectly lines up with the rest of the foot, but on the left side foot, the heel spur sags down. And that's the same with Armada Red Alert.
Yeah, this is weird.
It's not as prominent on Red Alert, but
I'm leaving my heel spur alone because I mean, standing it up without the heel spur, it stands fine.
Yeah.
Don't even need it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's why it's doing that, but for some reason one heel sags while the other sits perfectly. And so getting back to articulation, you have universal jointed hips, so the legs can go at the pelvis, they can go forward this far. All right, so you can get some decent kicking with Flatline and Red Alert. The leg can go back this far if you move the backpack up and out of the way. The legs can go out if I line it up properly. They can go out this far, so not quite 180 degrees. Because it hits the tire. So not quite a full split. And then bringing the backpack down. Swivel joint in the thigh, so legs can spin and like that. Very tight knee joints here. And be mindful that you have to angle the legs outward to activate the knee joint because the kibble from alt mode will hit each other right there. If you just angle the leg back, it will hit this thing and collide with its throw.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah. And then for transformation, there's also a hinge joint right at the shin. That's technically not a robot mode joint. That's a transformation joint. So be mindful you don't activate that unless you want Red Alert or Flatline here to look like they've broken their lower legs. Yeah, that hinge joint there in the shin is just for transformation. It's not an official robot mode joint. And then, of course, the feet are attached to the ankles with double joints. You have a hinge joint here for transformation. So the feet can go back this far before this sculpted detailing right here hits the back of the leg, kibble on the shin, and they're on ankle rockers, so you can get the figure into a sprawl-legged pose. Oh, as well, having the feet firmly on the ground. And on the original Armada Red Alert action figure, Armada Red Alert's feet were placed at a permanent angle, so the legs on the original Armada Red Alert action figure were always spread out like this. If you tried to bring the legs forward, then the feet sat like that and unable to stand up straight. So seeing Armada Red Alert for his Age of the Primes figure be able to stand up straight, that's something new for this interpretation of him and with this action figure. And that's pretty much it for articulation. In terms of paint apps, Red Alert originally had several highlights to him. Armada Red Alert, his primary paint job is being mostly white and blue with red highlights. His original action figure actually had red crosses painted on the side of him, and Hasbro, I found out years later, actually got sued by the American Red Cross for actually painting red crosses on the original Armada Red Alert action figure, and that to this day remains the most recent Transformers action figure to actually have red crosses painted on the alt mode of an ambulance, because the American Red Cross sued Hasbro and made them promise they'd never do that again. So that's why every modern action figure of Ratchet, and even this version of Armada Red Alert now has a new modified red cross symbol where it's the Autobot logo inside a 6-sided cross, which is more similar to the Blue Cross Health Insurance agency here in the United States, rather than the
I don't know why. I mean, I think Hasbro should have just donated $1 for each figure they sold in for like the benefit of the Red Cross.
I know. I always secretly hope. Go ahead. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was like I said, they should have at least said, hey, for every figure we sell, we'll donate $1 to the American Red Cross. And, just to have that logo kept on it. I think they would have made everybody happy with that, but, things happen.
Yeah. I was kind of secretly hoping that maybe the Red Cross would consider it free publicity for their organization, but no, they want to be the ones to get every dollar for their own image and not be copyrighted for it.
Yeah, exactly. Alrighty.
But yeah, for paint wise, for paint apps, Flatline, he's got silver on the mouth plate and the intake vents on the base of his head. He's got red on the top of the center of his head crest. And as I said, with the pair of dedicated eyes and the mouth plate, his head sculpt is designed to be based off of the Generation 1 Decepticon logo. So his face looks like a cross between G1 Soundwave and Tarn from IDW's comic books. His headlights are unpainted red plastic, as is the front grille. And these 6 slits painted here on the front bumper. That's red Ed as well. And then he has some silver here on his torso right there. The windows are all clear red plastic. Same thing with the light bar siren on his roof. He's got red paint on the front of his shins, and the wheel housing here for the back wheels is painted red also. And then he has silver here on his toes. And then the most prominent paint app Flatline has on him is just like the animated version of Ratchet. He actually has a heart monitor line painted here for the side of his alt mode. And so as you can see, it's like lets that one beep and then it flatlines as it goes to the back. So even if you were being transported, even if Flatline were to pick you up, transform into his alt mode and put you inside the back area of his ambulance, you will already be dead by the time he's driving away with you riding inside him. So yeah, Flatline is a bringer of death.
Alrighty, so now the final thing that we should be able to do is see how easy it is to transform him without instructions.
Oh yeah.
Without cheating either from anybody.
No.
So, all right, I guess we'll start. This isn't really a foot race.
No.
But we're going to see what happens here. And here we go. Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
And do I get this here? Oh, I forgot about this plastic piece. How could I? Nice. Rubber band piece that I forgot to take off. I feel stupid.
Don't worry. I almost forgot to take it off too.
Alrighty, so we'll start off with that. And gotta get the head off. I'm just funny at the fact that didn't I just do this before? Yes, I did. It's been so long. And of course, let me see if I can do this the correct way. Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about in regards to. Okay, ooh. Come on. Transform here, dang it. Nah. No, at least I'll do this. I'll get the back legs started first.
Yep.
Okay. See if these connect. And what was I forgetting? This guy. Trying to remember what it was that I had to do. That's not the hinge here. Yeah, let's just try to get this guy up and down here. Now the hood part, I guess I have to pop off. Dang, is this? Yep. Okay. Never mind. Got what I needed. It was just tight.
Mm-hmm. They really have to make it more difficult than it needs to be, don't they? The designers,
Yeah.
bro.
I'm just trying to remember. Did I have to turn the head around for flat to?
No. You don't have
Okay.
to turn this. You don't have to spin the head around.
All right. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. Yep. There he goes. Tucked in. And it's just the tight tolerances do not help.
No, they don't.
Okay, so head is out of the way. Don't have to tuck anything else in. Over here, that's one. That's two. Remember, kids, don't try this at home. We are not trained professionals.
No,
we're just fans of the. We're just fans of the freaking series.
I know we're barely amateurs.
And I knew I screwed something up. But what did I screw up here? Let's find out. Okay, if I pop this off, and I pop this off. Okay, so there we go.
Not a contest, UltraMeagtronus, but done.
Yep, I screwed up on my end.
Yeah,
I did a stupid thing.
I'm gonna see if I can transform Armada Red Alert really fast.
Yeah, by the time you do that, I'll probably be done. Okay, yep. So there's the fist for this.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. Oh my god. Oh, that's why. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I should shame myself just for doing this. But again, this is just transformation for fun. Yeah. People are like, oh my god. Really, UltraMeagtronus? Really? You're really doing that?
Don't sell yourself short.
I'm just trying to think. What am I missing? Yeah, no. Okay, and what am I doing here?
No, I know what I did wrong. Forgot to connect the arms.
Okay, so the arm. That's what I did. Dummy. I'm a dummy. Yeah, why am I not? Okay, so what am I doing here? Yeah, that was my stupidity right there. Double hinged. Yep. Okay, and then we flip this over too.
Yep.
Okay, we do this over here, and then that is Cleepy. That is Cleepy.
Yep. And done. Armada Red Alert.
Holy Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen, I got smoked, but if I didn't get smoked by a guy by the name of TFfangeek, that would have been an issue. That would have been a shame button on him. But he just smoked me, not only with transforming Flatline, but Red Alert at the same time. Because I didn't even freaking. I haven't transformed this guy in a long time, though.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Not my defense, but at least I was able to do it without the instructions. And why am I having? Yeah, wow. Tune in next week on. He just smoked me, guys. Like he was just
sorry.
like, no, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, if I beat you, then that would have been like, yeah, you better be sorry. You know, you gotta name like, you know, that name is supposed to be your legacy there.
Thank you.
Yep. And okay, hold on. And why am I having an issue now? All I'm trying to do is get the door hooked up. I got the one side hooked. All right, so now this is the tolerance level on my end. All right, so let's see here. Okay, one. Come on. Yeah, something. Yeah, so something is caught up on my end because I got the one piece hooked up, and then all of a sudden the other piece don't want to hook up. Yeah, it's just the one side. The tolerance on this one.
Oh yeah.
So it's not. I don't think it's a defect. It's just
no. On my copy of Flatline, the port that goes into the peg for the laser gun, it's really tight on my copy.
Okay. So, yep. So what my stupidity was, I forgot to fold the arms. And 5 minutes? That was probably my longest transformation. No. All right. So hold on. Let me, what's the point of doing Flatline now? And now I'm going to just untransform them anyway later on. So, and you already got yours displayed. So I'm going to zoom in on you.
Okay. All right, so here is setting Red Alert off to the side. Here's the figure that this live stream is about. Here is Age of the Primes Flatline transformed into his alt mode. And as I said, paint in terms of his paint and his physical appearance, Flatline is a mashup of Armada, Red Alert, and Generation 1 Trailbreaker. He has he instead of Trailbreaker's yellow racing stripe going on the back, he just got some red highlights on here. He's got red over the wheel housing right there. He does have a red stripe on the base of his door. The windows are all clear, translucent red plastic, just like the light bar siren on the roof. He's got some metallic silver here on the intake vent on the top hood of his alt mode of an ambulance with right behind the Decepticon logo. Got some more intake vents here that are painted red. And of course, again, he's got the heart monitor line here on the side, both sides of him, where it starts off with one heartbeat and then it lives up, and then it shows off his name by flatlining all the way to the end, to the back of his alt mode. The tires spin really well, and there is enough clearance where you could roll him around on a flat surface. But even though this is supposed to be an army type Jeep ambulance, which is what Armada Red Alert's alt mode was, and it's not the same here for Flatline. He can't go off-roading due to the robot mode Kimble underneath. But it is nice seeing a Jeep that's an ambulance that's a modified Jeep on here. He does have sirens here on the top of his roof. They're unpainted 3mm ports here on the top. They are blast effect compatible, so if you wanted to be shooting fireworks out of the sirens, then you can do that as well. I kind of wish they would have painted this siren here on Armada Red Alert gunmetal gray, since the other siren is the hinge joint for his laser gun that forms forms 1/3 of his rooftop. So it works better for Flatline since it's the same black paint used on there. The reason why it's gunmetal gray on this piece of Armada Red Alert is because the top back section of his roof right here going along to the back where Red Alert's taillights are, that was gunmetal gray on his original Armada action figure. I saw a photo where the same gunmetal gray used here on the wheel housing at the base of the side of his alt mode. I saw where someone airbrushed these parts that were gunmetal gray on the original Armada Red Alert. They did it here on the new Age of the Primes figure, and it broke up the white on him. It works for Flatline just because it's all solid plastic and you can't see too many of the panel lines, at least from a distance and without bright light shining on it. In terms of which action figure has more paint apps, comparing Armada Red Alert and Flatline with each other, even though they have different painted highlights here, Armada Red Alert, I'm going to say he has a lot more paint on him than Flatline does. As the entire front bumper section here on Armada Red Alert, as you can see, there's a lot of detail to it. You got yellow highlights and then unpainted red plastic here used for the emergency lights. You got silver in the grill, silvery gray for the front bumper section, and then you got gunmetal gray here on the back frame. That's all paint. Armada Red Alert's entire front bumper, all this is paint. It's a clear red plastic bits for the headlights inside, and then the rest of the bumper is unpainted white plastic. And so Armada Red Alert would look like a white version of Flatline if you were to remove all the paint on his front bumper from him. So in terms of who has more paint apps, it is definitely Armada Red Alert. There's the gunmetal gray here on the sides of his alt mode. That gunmetal gray is all paint. And as you can see, Flatline, he just has the red here on the back and then the red stripe at the base of the door. So even though Flatline's hubcaps are painted silver and Armada Red Alerts are unpainted, the reason why I personally believe Armada Red Alert's wheels aren't painted is because of all the other paint apps used on the front bumper and the sides of his alt mode, even with his red stripe here and then the red Autobot cross there on top, and then you got blue. You got blue plastic used here on the hinge for the front middle of the hood of the vehicle mode, and then gunmetal gray there here on the back. One thing that, apart from the painted hubcaps, one thing Flatline has that Red Alert does not is that the exhaust vents on the back windows of the alt mode, they're painted silver, and then they have red, and then the frame is painted red on Flatline. So that's some detailing that Red Alert is lacking. But one thing I like about this mold, both Red Alert and Flatline, is that this bottom back piece right here, which folds into the backpack for alt mode, on the original Armada Red Alert action figure, this piece did not exist. So whenever you would transform Armada Red Alert into his alt mode, this piece isn't designed to be detached, but you would basically see the robot mode feet and shins sticking out of the back there. And so the original Armada Red Alert action figure didn't actually have a bottom backside to the alt mode. The only time he did was in the Transformers Armada video game that was released for PlayStation 2, and in the Armada cartoon show. So yeah, the feet just doubled as the back doors for the ambulance mode. So it is nice that the designers on the new Age of the Primes figure, able to actually give a proper back section for Armada Red Alert and all subsequent repaints of him, such as Flatline here. And with that said, that's pretty much sums up all there is to see about Flatline's alternate mode of a black ambulance. It's an ambulance from hell, for lack of better vocabulary.
And I will say, I got this transformed in 4 minutes. So
nice.
But you know what's funny? I still kind of messed up on one part of it. I was like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, once you get one, then the other one's fine to go. So that's really it. So your final thoughts for sure on this guy? Oh
yeah. So for the final proverbial question, when I normally do my reviews on my channel, and one last thing I will say is that both Red Alert and Flatline, you can't really see it from a distance, but and it's really hard to tell. At a distance, they look like they have the same shade of clear red plastic used on them, and of course, Red Alert's looks a little darker than Flatline since it's red plastic versus black plastic. But if you get the light, if you get them at a decent angle, you can get the light to shine on it. You can kind of see it right there. The shade of clear red plastic used for Flatline's light bar sirens it is a slightly brighter shade of clear red plastic than what's used in Armada Red Alert. So they do not use the exact same shade of red plastic between the two of them. So that is nice to see that they did use a different shade of red plastic for Flatline's light bar sirens than they did for Armada Red Alert, rather than just recycling the same shade of red plastic for that. So that is one nice thing to see there. But one nice thing I was going to say is that just like the original...
You can see it in the comments to Quentin. He can see it already, and he probably knows about it already, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I do see it on my copy, too. Like, if I put the light next to it, yeah, for whatever reason, it's darker on the white version and lighter on the black version. So that's not just, you know... I see that. Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea that they did that. Like, the darker the shade on one, but lighten it on the other. I think they did that for the purpose of, like, you know, if we do a darker color, if we did the dark color on Flatline, it may be too dark, and we want it to pop out with the light and being red. So they darkened it for Red Alert. Lightened it for things. So Flatline. I think that was a great idea.
And even though it's just ornamental now, they do have the same Minicon port on the back top of their roofs. So if you have the original Armada Red Alert action figure, you can take his Minicon and put it on the roof of either of these guys. On the original Armada Red Alert action figure, this Minicon port, if you slide it forward, it would let out an electronic siren to remind you that Red Alert's alt mode is an ambulance. And then if you pulled it, and if you pulled it down and were pressing down on it while you push the Minicon forward, you would hear Red Alert shout out his name, and then it would like say Red Alert, woo 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 woo, followed by a siren noise. And then when you pulled it backwards, it would cause the laser gun to automatically pop forward, and you would hear a launching mechanism sound from there. So that's just the legacy of Transformers action figures while they still had electronic lights and sounds installed inside of them. So sorry for deviating off topic, but for what UltraMegatronus asked me a moment ago, for the final proverbial question, do I recommend getting the Transformers Age of the Primes Voyager class Flatline action figure and adding it to your Transformers collection? Absolutely. Even if you don't have Armada Red Alert and you don't know too much about Flatline due to him being such an obscure Transformers character, once you find out who he is and what he's done in the Transformers comic books, he's quite an interesting Transformers character. But for his Age of the Primes action figure, as a standalone action figure, it is quite impressive. I don't know of any other Transformers action figures that are supposed to be black ambulances is like this. And visually, he's just a really incredible Transformers action figure. I think the designers at Hasbro and Takara Tomy managed to successfully convey the idea that Flatline is the total opposite of Armada Red Alert. He is villainous, he is scum, and what sets him apart from other Decepticons is the fact that he has a PhD in medical knowledge. And as I said at the start of the live stream, Flatline lives up to his name by being a doctor who, instead of saving the lives of his patients, he ends the lives of his patients with great malice. So, yeah, I highly recommend getting him. Even if you do or do not have Armada Red Alert, even if you already have Armada Red Alert, there is no shame in double dipping on this mold by getting Flatline, because you definitely get your money's worth with these two guys. Because on top of all that, as we saw at the start of the live stream, Flatline actually has two hands when Armada Red Alert only has a single hand.
And there's the question for you.
Yeah.
Will you get multiple Flatlines?
Oh, yeah. So what Quentin 5075 has mentioned, which I almost completely forgot about, in one of his Transformers comic books, Flatline is just like the Viacons from Transformers Prime. There's not just one of him. There are multiples of him running around and trying to end the lives of the Transformers. No, I will not buy multiple Flatlines, Quentin, because one's enough for me. I like to think of Flatline as being almost like Generation 1 Reflector, where he has the same mind shared in multiple bodies, but since they don't connect and they just run around in all directions, since they don't combine into a camera, they all transform into the same ambulance. One is enough for me. It's the same thing with Legacy Overcharge. Overcharge is technically a mass soldier. There isn't just one of him, but I only bought one copy of him as well. So yeah, I'm fine with just one copy of Flatline in my collection.
I'm just trying to figure out how to store this claw in there because it's like very loose still. No matter what angle I put it in, the little black claw.
Oh yeah, the double claw. Yeah, you did find the storage space for it, right?
It's supposed to be on the side. I haven't seen the instructions, so that's my only defense.
Yeah, no, it's not. The double barrel claw does not go on the side. UltraMeagtronus. Only the laser guns do.
Okay.
See if I can untransform Red Alert for you.
Well, I got them partially untransformed anyway, so like, if you were to tell me where to put it.
Yeah, it's on the inside of the roof.
Oh, the inside of the roof?
Yeah. You could just barely see it right there, deep inside on the interior of the roof. Like right there in front of my finger is the port.
Where that little tab is?
Yeah, where that little tab is.
Oh, just pop it in there?
Yeah, and then there you should see a tiny little 2 millimeter circular port that goes into one of the spaces inside the claw.
Oh, I feel okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even look at the
trickiest part. Yeah, that's the trickiest part of the claw storage. Yeah, and again, on the reason why you store the claw there on the interior of the roof is it's a reference to Armada Red Alert's original action figure, where that claw was the spring-loaded missile that on the original 2003 action figure it permanently stored here inside Red Alert's laser gun, so it would always be ready to fire at a moment's notice when you want to.
Why the heck do they have a 5 millimeter port and it doesn't allow this the missile to be in the can? That's weird.
Do you want to put your camera back on?
Yep, never mind. Oh yeah, it would be nice if I did that. All right, never mind, because I got the missile launcher right there, but it's angled.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cry about it.
Yeah.
But at least I got it transformed in under 4 minutes this time. Yeah. I'm gonna transform back to robot anyway.
Yeah.
All righty. So I guess geez. Been on for about an hour and a half, and we were able to talk about and transform Flatline as well as doing Red Alert. And we finally got to do this episode because, like I said, we were both looking forward to doing this. It's just so much got in the way this last couple of weeks. So I'm very glad that I'm able to have brought TFfangeek back to do another transformation live. And also, I want to thank you for sure. And, thank you for giving me the tips on this stuff, because this is what happens when you don't read, folks. If you don't read, you don't find out.
Yep. So this has been our look at Decepticon Flatline. Do you think he earns the title of most evil doctor in the Transformers franchise?
So far, he's got my yes, because Knockout, from Prime, I thought he was bad, but it's like, nope, he was too busy worrying about his looks. This guy takes the cake as far as evil goes. So
yeah, and one thing I wanted to say before, I don't know if I got the chance to say it. Flatline, he doesn't just end the lives of Autobots. Even if Decepticons end up in front of him, it doesn't matter what faction Transformers are. He will take their lives if he seems it necessary. It's like, say a Decepticon gets badly damaged and they beg Megatron to show mercy. Megatron will be like, fine, take them to Flatline hospital. And when they arrive, they discover too late Flatline is there to just put them out of their misery when Megatron didn't want to be bothered with it in the first place. So
and Hunt New York Ken, aka New York Hunter, is just like, all Decepticon docs have special place in my heart. You're a sick, twisted person, brother.
Yeah.
And David, I don't have either of those guys. Highly recommended. I would definitely recommend it. Plastic is solid. And it's just the coloring as well is beautifully done.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if you don't have a copy of it, if you don't have an incarnation of them, I don't know too much about Armada, but I had an interest in getting this guy, and I was so glad that I did. So now later on, I could just turn around and be like, yeah, I got this guy. He's part of my collection. The only one of our no, I don't have already 2001 Omega Prime because I couldn't do HasLab. Sorry, guys.
Same here. I don't have that hat. That's the only Transformers HasLab I don't have in my Transformers collection right now. And with the price he's going for on Amazon, I probably will never get Omega Prime.
I wasn't even agreeing with the price that they were charging regular, like $250. I'm like, how are you going to charge a commander class like 300 times as much? But it's like, oh, well, this is a hard one to find. I mean, I will only say that you're getting 2 figures out of it, so maybe that was the justification for it. But
but even then, it's very loose justification because you're basically buying a commander class figure for the price of almost 2 Titans.
Yeah. That's for sure. Why can't I take this out?
Quentin says both of the bots are shelf warming on the store shelves in his area. Yes, and unfortunately, part of the reason for that is because, spoiler alert for you, UltraMeagtronus in the Armada cartoon, in terms of the Autobot characters from Transformers Armada, poor Red Alert here has been regarded by many as being the most boring of the Autobots to appear in Transformers Armada. And the fact that he appears at the start of the series along with Optimus Prime and Hotshot, he has the third largest amount of screen time after Optimus Prime and Hotshot do, just because he was there with them. And so even though he does serve a purpose being the Autobots' doctor in Armada, as the series progresses, the Autobots manage to avoid getting blasted by the Decepticons, and they manage to avoid being damaged as much, and so Red Alert wasn't as needed as often as he would have otherwise been. Or to be a little more cynical about it, as Armada progressed, Red Alert was, if Red Alert had been replaced with Ratchet, then he definitely did not appear as often as Ratchet would appear in some of his cartoon appearances. Like, you know how in Transformers Cyberverse, Ratchet only had a few appearances in Transformers Cyberverse just because the Autobots had self-repair machines that didn't really require a doctor to work on them. Yeah.
Same thing. I mean, that was the one thing, like when they did Transformers Prime, Ratchet was like a main character, and then it's like they put another one in, and it's like now he's a side character. It's a shame how they sometimes just do that to the characters. And it's like, you know what? I mean, me personally, as much as like, you know, Bumblebee, a lot of people bash, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I cannot, like, I think Bumblebee and my favorite Bumblebee was RID 2015. Because Will Friedle did the voice, and it was like, okay, you took a scout and gave him responsibility and have him talk at least, so that was a good thing.
Yeah.
But it was like, I loved the conflict between him and Optimus Prime. And I mean, I'm not trying to make it sound like, you know, oh, how can you say that about Optimus? But it was like, well, Optimus gave him the power, the leadership role, and then he comes to Earth, and then it's like he tries to take it over, and Bumblebee's like, no, you know, you gave me this responsibility. It's my responsibility to deal with. You have no right to take it away from me. Even, you know, if you were my leader, you gave this to me. I want to have this. I want to prove my point. I want to prove my role. And I was so happy that that happened. So that's the only reason why I've ever liked Bumblebee from RID 2015, just because he had the opportunity to shut a lot of people up and saying, oh, well, you know, Bumblebee's the weakest character. No, he's not the weakest character. He's a smart character. He was a scout. And later on, like even when they did Siege, Earthrising Kingdom, they did a good job with Bumblebee there.
Oh yeah, I don't care what people say about this. I loved that Siege opened up just like Transformers Generation 1, where Bumblebee and Wheeljack are exploring Cybertron. I just love that parallel with G1, where that was the opening scene where you see Bumblebee and Wheeljack looking around Cybertron and seeing how badly damaged it is.
But then there was a twist of like, wait a minute, you're not with the Autobots? What's going on here? and that just made it different. Okay, so I like, did you retransform Flatline?
No, because I don't really have. I'm running out of shelving space again. That's another reason why I'm passing on Studio Series 86 Soundwave, and why I have to watch which Transformers I buy. I'm probably gonna put these guys in a storage bin with a bunch of other Transformers that I don't have room on the shelf for, so I'm keeping them transformed in their alt mode. That's why I haven't transformed them back.
I'll give you a heads up. This head mold is tight coming out.
That's the I said earlier in the live stream that one of the main gripe I have is that little hinge is what holds the backpack to the robot mode.
Never mind. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah, the second gripe I have is the transformation of the head sculpt. The little tab they have at the base of the neck joint to flip the head out.
Oh, yeah, like
it's too small, even if you have long fingernails. So I actually put a little wooden dowel in the back of the head, back of the cavity where the head sits to pop the head out and transform it. So yeah, so that's the most difficult part of the transformation. Head is flipping the head out. That's the most difficult step in the transformation for this mold.
Yeah, because like right now I'm just trying to pull the head out, and it's like I got it popped out, but man, is he tight?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it out, but yeah, buyer beware for that one. For absolutely, wow.
Yeah,
that was tight. I mean, I got it, but boy, oh boy, is that tight. So that's the only okay. That's the one grievance in regards to what we feel. You know, they could have done a better job with the tolerance on the head. Way too tight. I mean, it doesn't feel like it's going to break, but man, oh man, was that tight.
Yeah, on the original Armada Red Alert action figure, his robot mode head actually sat right behind the windshield when he was when he would transform into his alt mode. So you'd see Red Alert's face peeking out of his windshield every time he was in his alt mode, at least for his action figure. And the head and the neck joint of Armada Red Alert's head was on a spring. So whenever you would flip back the windshield, his head would pop out and instantly transform in front of the windshield because it was spring loaded.
All right. Well, he's done. He's loaded. He's finale. I figured leave the claw on this. Actually, I should put the red missile on him.
Yeah.
Nah, because then the other one. Oh yeah. Then I don't feel like putting the roof back on and all that stuff. I'm just gonna keep it black. It looks, I think, cool with the double missile, but that's just me. So, all righty. Well, let me give you your proper outro and all that stuff. I want to thank everybody again for popping in. I want to thank again my special guest, TFfangeek.
Thank you for having me.
Outro and center stage goes to you, sir.
Okay. So I am the TFfangeek. I love to talk everything Transformers related. As you can see by the massive wall of Transformers action figures behind me, I still have a lot of Transformers action figures to review. I haven't updated my checklist yet, but I have a checklist of Transformers action figures I still have to review before I finally finish playing the game of catch up. And if my list is correct, it says that I have 78 Transformers action figures that I still have to review, but some of those on the list are group reviews that I want to bunch up together. So I think I have close to over 100 Transformers action figures I still have to unbox and review. I'm three going on 4 years being behind in my Transformers reviewing. But when I am getting around to do a review, it's worth it to finally get it done and make it as top quality as I can. I finally hit 985 subscribers this weekend, so just 15 more to go before I hit 1,000.
All right.
Looking forward to hitting that number.
Let's get this man some subs here. We got to get this going, guys. Make the community bigger. Expand it out even more. Oh, and that just popped off.
Oh, dear. So I don't know if I'll do a review before I go to bed tonight, but hopefully I'll be able to. But in the meantime, thank you once again, UltraMeagtronus, for having me on here. Thank you for this special live unboxing of the evil Decepticon Dr. Flatline. I recommend getting his action figure, but at the same time, within Transformers fiction, stay away from Flatline if you want to live. Otherwise, he will send you to your grave, because even though he works in a hospital, his hospital is more of a mortuary than an actual hospital. So, yes, thank you, UltraMeagtronus, once again. And until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. And remember, collecting is a lifelong hobby. If you enjoy it, it'll last forever. And be good to everyone.
Yeah, and again, thank you everybody in the chat for participating. As always, you guys make the community possible by being here and showing the world that, you know what, we're not the only ones out there you're probably hiding there. You know you're out there hiding, and you want to come out and feel the same as everybody else. So again, thank you guys for making the show possible. Thank you, TF, for coming out and doing this. It took a while, but we finally got it through. And with that being said, I am UltraMeagtronus. And always remember, guys, you're never too old to feel too young. When it comes to collecting anything in life, collect life experiences itself. Take care. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.
Bye.